Hello, and thank you for watching my video. This is another in the series looking at how to make gold from Guild Wars 2 in 2015, and today we're going to be talking about the Silver Wastes, and this is going to be the first part of a series looking at some of the different ways you can make money during the Silver Wastes, or in the Silver Wastes map. And the first time we're actually going to concentrate is looking at chest farming. Now, chest farming has been in the Silver Wastes since the beginning, and that it was actually a mistake that ArenaNet made when the chests appeared to becoming respawning very, very quickly. However, they have patched that, and so now you'll get chest trains. I want you to have a look as well. I've got the magic find up there. You can go and rewind that if you want, to show you. You actually gain magic find by completing events in Guild Wars 2 in the Silver Wastes. And it boosts your magic find when you open some of these Lost Bandit Chests. And this obviously is going to be beneficial for you when you're going around the Silver Wastes, opening some of these chests. You can see there I've just done defeated the champion, and I haven't collected one of I've got a key that I've already done this champion already on this map. So I went around on this map, just show you guys just some of the ways you can actually get a lot of gold. And it's this chest farming that is extremely popular at the moment as a very, very good way to make gold. You'll see here we've actually got a commander leading the way, and you don't even need shovels to scan now, to do the radar to find out where they are, because the mounds do appear and they are very visible for people to see. And it's good to have someone leading the chest train, and for people to bring a load of shovels and obviously Lost Bandit keys. Now, the whole point of this, as you can see on the right hand side, is for loot. Now, you can see how much loot I'm actually getting as we're going along. I have obviously sped this up. I'm trying to tag a few different events to boost my magic find at the moment. But generally, this route that people take, you'll notice the way that the commander goes around the map. This is generally the way that the chest farming works in Guild Wars 2 in the Silver Wastes. And the chest farming is when you get a load of people together. You can see how I've got a lot of bandit keys, and you'll get a load of shovels that you get from completing events in the Silver Wastes. There are a few other means you can get, like some from drops and such. But these chests are able to locate these Lost Bandit chests, and then you can go around together and you'll actually be able to find these chests, open them, and you'll get a lot of loot from it. And it's best to do this in a bit of a zerg, because you can go around together, opening multiple chests, and everyone benefits from this. You probably won't see me actually open any chests, because I actually did that on a run beforehand. So in this run I pretty much am leeching from people for this. Going around collecting all the Lost Bandit chests with all the keys that I have. And so you actually get keys by, you can notice that the bandit crest on the right hand side. Bandit crests are acquired through completing missions and events in Guild Wars 2, the Silver Wastes, in this map. So if you do, for example, defending one of the forts, or if you kill an enemy, like sort of veteran that's nearby, you will actually gain some bandit crests. You also gain piles of silky sand, and you can use the silky sand. When you get 10 lots, you can double click on it and it might reveal something special, which you probably noticed that I do regularly, so I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. But by doing these events, you actually get a huge amount of bandit crests. The bandit crests can be used at the beginning of the map. There is a sort of vendor, and he will trade you for 25 bandit crests, I believe 5 keys. I think it works out 5 keys per, 1 key per 5 bandit crests. And you can get a huge amount of keys from this, and the keys can then be used to go around the Silver Wastes and open these Lost Bandit chests, and will really get you a significant amount of loot from this. So what I wanted to do and show you in this video is to show you just how much, as we can see here, we're going to complete an event. I wanted to show you what you could actually acquire by doing this method, and why do people do the Silver Waste? Why is this a good way to earn gold? Well, you will get a lot of loot from this. You'll get a lot of champion bags, and I'm going to save up the champion bags, and then I'm going to switch over to my other character, which has more inventory space, and we're going to open them all, and to show you how much gold we can actually make from this. So that's the whole objective of this, because I know when people have been asking me recently, so how do I make gold in this? People usually say, well, dungeons, but now that's changed, and the Silver Wastes, as you can see, as I mentioned before about the event and how you can get sort of bandit crests from completing an event, as we just do one there. But people have been asking me, how do you make money in the Silver Wastes? And this is one of the methods. There are a couple of other methods that I'm going to talk about in different videos. This video is solely focusing on the chest train and the chest farm. And I wanted to show this off because a lot of people are still a bit confused about what to do. So for the chest farm, what you need, if you want to be a follower, you just need to bring along some the chest keys to open up the Lost Bandit Chests. And if you have any shovels that you acquire, it's best to go around and help out and by using the shovels to identify these Lost Bandit Chests. And that's how the way you actually acquire a lot of champion bags. So as you can see here, we're moving along. I'm just clicking get rid of a load of the materials and luck, and keeping obviously all the champion bags. So what you're not seeing is the profit and the amount of materials that we're going to make. And I'm hoping that obviously going through you'll be able to see exactly what I've made. With the lump of the raw umbrite, I actually tend just to sell that straight away. You can make quite a substantial amount of money. I think I almost had a stack of that lump of umbrite and made over a gold from it. Because this is probably worth around about or just under a silver. I think it's worth about 90 copper. Around about that mark, and generally, obviously if you sell 250 odd, you'll be getting over a gold. And so as you can see here, we're almost finishing this farm. I just wanted to show you a few more little bits of the areas so that if you are doing this type of farm, then you actually know where to go. And if you want to sort of lead in a farm, then you have an idea of the sort of route that people tend to take. Because it has varied from when it originally started, that people would stick to near the amber section, the amber fort, and now we actually go around the whole map because of the length of the respawn for these chests. It generally takes around, 5 to 10 minutes for a chest to respawn, and so that's why people tend to go around the whole map, because by the time they come back round, then the chests have respawned, and so they'll be able to acquire chests. You also see there somebody actually just got a fractal weapon that actually does have the ability to drop from these loot chests. So you might actually get a I say fractal. I don't know what I'm saying here. A ascended weapon. I apologise. The ascended weapon has the chance to drop from a loot chest. And obviously the amount of luck that you have can vary on your chances of success and getting an ascended weapon. But we do get quite a lot of the materials required for crafting bolts of Damask. It's actually why I've suddenly received quite a lot and got quite a lot of bolts of Damask. Just to be aware as well, for those of you who are a bit unsure, there's a bit where you face off a champion bandit. And you'll notice a lot of people die because there's spike traps that the champion the bandits have there. So I would just be aware when you go over to where the champion is that you'd be aware of those spike traps. Okay, so we've moved on. I've swapped over to my Elementalist because it has a lot more inventory space on my Elementalist. You'll see here we've got some bags of gear. We also have 86 chests, champion bags, and I actually got that from around about 40 minutes of that chest farm. I don't even think that just going around opening bandit chests, very, very easy way, nothing too strenuous, nothing too difficult. And you can see here that all the stuff that we're getting from this chest farm. So this is where we make the money. Look at all these materials we're getting. We're getting a lot of masterwork items. You know, we're getting a few cores there, and we're getting a couple of T6 materials. So what I'll do, I'm going to salvage all the blue items and run out of salvage kits. I'm going to salvage every light piece of armor, because I actually want the silk for that. So you can see we've got a couple of rare items in here as well. I'm leaving the materials out so you can actually take a look at some of the materials we're getting. We have got plenty of bloodstone dust, so I actually have Mordry, as you can see here on my character, so that's why I keep hold of the bloodstone dust, because Mordry eats it and I get some gifts from that. So we're salvaging the light armor. Again, we're getting some silk out of that. We're getting quite a lot of silk. We've got a lot of mithril ore. We're going to do some more. I'm trying to keep as much open so you can see, much in my inventory as possible, so you can actually see what we're actually getting. Obviously, we're getting skill points as well. We've got an Onk's lodestone and another rare as well. We've still got a few more champ bags to open, but I think I'm gonna have to put all these materials away. So we've got I'm putting the skill points in there, but look, we've got a charged core. But look at all the T5 materials we have as well, as we sell some junk. But you can see, just going down here, all the different materials that we've got. You know, like poison, potent or the venom sacs, and then it's the T6 materials, the lodestones. But we're getting, I'm going to sell that amulet because it's worth over 2 silver. That's what I tend to do with the masterwork. If it's over 2 silver, I'll sell it. But again, you know, we've got a lot of rares that we'll either salvage and get. Oh, we've got another T6 material. And this is generally a lot of materials that we've acquired just from this chest farm. And this is why you're making so much money from the silver wastes, because if you sold all of this, you would be making a substantial amount of money. I also want to take you back to the start of the video. The start of this section. If you go back and have a look, I was actually on around about 66 gold. And by opening all these champ bags, I've actually got over a gold in silver as well. You know, if you go back and have a look at the beginning of the video from when I was opening all the chests as well, I mean, you actually do make a lot of money just by opening all these chests. You can gain silver as well. And you can see here that I've got a full stack, so I like having these stacks in my bank so I can use Mordry pretty quickly with all these bloodstone dust, and the Imperial fragments go with the Star of Gratitude, so every day I'll be getting gifts of that. So here what we're going to do, we're going to sell all of these junk items, and then we're going to go to the Mystic Forge, and we're going to go and forge the Masterworks. But again, if you want to have a look how much they sell on the trading post, this will be for the rare items. We use the ectoplasm as a guide because the rares you can salvage 4 ectos. Ectos are currently worth, I think, around 33. But you can see here the amount of profit we're going to make is pretty not that great, because if we have a look, this is the main comparison. This is why I salvage my rare items. You're going to see here that the ectos go for 33 silver. If a rare isn't worth 33 silver, if it's worth less, the amount of profit you're going to make is worth less than 33 silver, you're better off salvaging that rare. Okay, you can salvage the rare with the chance to get an ectoplasm. So you can see here it's worth less than 30. I'm not even going to bother. I think I'm going to salvage all of these. I have in the past tended to try and forge rares, but to potentially get an exotic. However, generally I found it more monetarily effective if you actually just salvage the rares instead of going for the bit of risk that you can get by going for the Mystic Forge. But I wanted to show you a list of all these prices if I was to sell all of these masterwork items. You know, why don't I sell these masterwork items? Well, it's simply because the amount of money you can make from a rare is much more beneficial. The average price is around 1.5 silver. So that would take you around 6.5 silver attempt to sell to get a forge. But there we go, straight away we've got a rare. Okay, if I salvage that and got an ecto, that's 30 silver. Boom, I'm 25 silver ahead. Reason why it's 6.5 silver is because obviously when you do forge something, you do get a masterwork back. So I'm taking the 1.5 silver out of that equation. So if you get a rare within every 4 goes, you will be making a profit. And of course, when you salvage a rare, you might get 3 ectos. That's almost a gold. So it's definitely worthwhile going for these, you know, the rare items. I've generally found it in the long term, it's much more cost effective to forge masterworks than it is to sell them. I mean, you're looking here at some of the items that I'm getting here. You know, this isn't the only sort of chest farm that I've done where you can see some of the, you know, rewards that I've got. I wanted to show you this quickly, that these are all, this is just me, this is I'm not editing this, this is me with all these items, so that's why I've taken a little bit more longer time over this. And you can see here what I'm actually salvaging. I also gave you a list, so if you wanted to work that out, how much money I'd make, you could see that for yourselves. And see, you know, generally sometimes there are times, you know, I'll admit it straight away that there are times when you can see now I've had a long run without getting any rare items, and you know, is this being a mistake? Not, you know, but then I get a rare item. Hammers generally tend to sell well, but again, in the long term, with the amount of items that I've put in the Mystic Forge, I know what, you know, generally the rare item, I do generally get quite a fair amount of rares coming out of this. So there we go, that is all the items that I'm not going to forge that one because that's a light armor, so I'll get the silk from that. So here we go, that hammer there, get rid of that lock. So that hammer was there worth, when I salvaged it, so was worth, yeah, so it's worth over 40 silver. So if you compare that to how many tries can you have in the Mystic Forge, so that's 6.5. You know, you're talking 5 attempts. And again, look, we got that Rampage's crate bow, a huge amount of profit that we made there. So things like that, the rare item can, you know, depend on how much money you're making from this. So what I tend to do, again, if the rare is worth over an ecto, then I will sell it on the trading post, as you saw me do there, and you can see me salvaging away. We're getting obviously sigils out of this as well, and so the sigils will then forge, and we actually did alright out of the ectos there. So we'll go and put the major sigils. A lot of people sell them, you know, I might be mistaken by forging these, but I always like the chance of getting sort of the masterwork items. So you can see here, we've got 80 odd, 89 here, so I'll sell them instantly, and that's so here we go, that's another 65 silver profit, you know, another half a gold from those lumps of raw ambrite. And these are excuse me, how you could be making the gold from this, from the silver wastes. Remember, I spent less than an hour in the silver wastes. Okay, at a maximum attempt you could probably do around 5 short dungeons in that time. That's around about, if by dungeon running, a flat rate of around 6 gold, probably around 8 gold with selling items, probably more than that. But with the silver wastes, you can see that the amount of rares I've got, the amount of materials I've got, I actually probably have made more farming the silver wastes, doing this chest train, than I have. If you think about obviously the cores I've got, and you know, so the materials. I mean, look how much mithril ore. I mean, again, I've not been spending much. You can see all the materials I've been getting here. I've got a huge amount of materials now, and this is why the silver wastes have become such a profitable place to earn gold in Guild Wars 2. As long as you have the bandit keys, you can go around and collect them. It is a very, very easy way to make gold. For those of you who thought maybe my one-off farm was a bit of a fluke, I'm actually going to include another set of me doing another chest train, and you can see for yourself it has me doing it. I'm going to speed it up so I'm going to go racing through it, and you'll be able to see the results for yourself. And I think you'll find it compelling viewing, and you know, you can skip forward if you want, but I wanted to show you that this is a genuine way to make gold very, very quickly, very, very handily, and you make gold over a number of different ways, through the materials, through the you know, masterwork, rare items, and through generally drops in silver, through lumps of raw ambrite. There's many ways you can make gold just by opening these chests. So I hope you found this useful, and I'll come back to you at the end of the video. What we're going to have here, the next two clips, you're actually going to see me open a load of champ bags because I wanted to demonstrate how it wasn't a one-off. And so you can see all the different bags that we open. It's a substantial amount that I've been doing of the silver wastes. And I wanted to show you that, me salvaging and me, some of the stuff I've been doing, it's not all a fluke. And by doing this, I'm hoping that you can actually see the amount of money that you make from the silver waste farm, the chest farm, is quite impressive and it's worth doing. And so I'm hoping that you appreciate these two little clips here at the end as well. So while you're watching this, I would just like to thank everyone for watching. I hope you found it useful, and again, this is part 1 of the silver wastes and how to make gold. There will be some more episodes looking at different ways and how you can actually make gold from the silver wastes. This is just one method by doing the silver waste chest farm. It's a very, very quick way to make a lot of gold by finding a map that you can go into where everyone's doing this chest farm. You'll have a commander, he'll go round, and as long as you've got some shovels, if you haven't, just bring some keys. You want to take around 45 keys per loop to go round. That's what I'd suggest, the amount of chests there are, and you won't run out that way. So I hope you found this guide useful. Please leave any comments in the comment section, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.